Alright guys, in this video I just want to have a quick rundown. I realised how many different types of batteries I had sitting around me, and I thought let's talk a little bit about energy density and just sheer storage and how it's improved over the years. And we'll go back and start with sealed lead acids. These two little beasts. So this one here is out of this UPS. This big silver one that's been on my bench for months and months and I haven't done anything with yet. It's a 6 volt 34 watt cell. So it's 34 watt hours of energy there. I'm going to have a stab and say that weighs nearly 2 kilos. It's quite hefty. So that's 9 amp hour at 6 volts, I reckon. This assembly notes is obviously from the actual brand of that UPS. So with 34 watt hours there. This little beast, believe it or not, powered my little 4-wheel motorbike thing my daughter rides around on. It's now got one of them in it. That's what it came with, straight out of the box. 6 volt, 1.3 amp hour, and that is 7.8 watt hours of storage. Hardly anything, and that probably still weighs 250-300 grams. So then we walked away from lead acid a bit. We went and started playing with NiCads and nickel metal hydrides. I've got a NiCad here. Here's what the cells look like. They're normally cardboard wrapped, normally quite round, about the same kind of roundness as a C-size battery. This is a Makita 14.4 volt, and it's going to give you about 15.6 watt hours if you go on their rating of amp hours versus voltage. So that's still heavy. That's probably 350 grams, I'd say. I should have grabbed some scales, but probably 350 grams the way it's sitting there. In a drill, for a while there we thought these were revolutionary and did good things, but the next step up certainly changed that. Yeah, 18650s. 18 because they're 18mm in diameter, 65 because they're 65 long, and 0 because that denotes that they're actually a round cell. So they're a rolled cell. This is a INR 18650 15M, which is a Samsung cell. That one's got round numbers, 1400 milliamps storage. They're meant to be 1500 out of the box new, so that's no real surprise. It's nice and close. 5.1 watt hours. Pretty crazy. So you go and compare those two, it's just mind blowing. That one's coming up on the capacity that sealed lead acid has. This is also a Samsung cell. It's an ICR 18650 and 26C. As the 26 says, I would normally get them at about 2600 milliamp hours. Out of laptop cells, 9.6 watt hours. That one's only 7.8. It's over a whole watt hour more, nearly 2 in comparison to that. Crazy, isn't it? And 2 of these little beasts and you've got the same amount of power as all these NiCads. They weigh about 45-50 grams each, you'd say. I think that's what the shipping weight normally is. Then we've got light polys. Now these are standard voltage light polys. This one is. This one's a 4.3 volts, so it's a little bit higher. This one's out of a Samsung tablet, 16 gig Samsung Tab 8-inch, I'm going to say, something like that. It's 6800 milliamp hour at 3.8 volt nominal. That gives you 25 watt hours. Just have a look at that as a form factor. Isn't that amazing? That's what's in your tablet. It'll be lucky to weigh 100 grams. So that's really cool. And then there's the big brother over here, which is 9,000 milliamp hours and 33 watt hours in total storage, 33.75. Same story, maybe 150 grams, 200 if you wanted to really push it. That's got 33 watt hours in it. It's got 34. You just can't, it just doesn't make sense, does it? You just wouldn't think it stacks up. So by getting rid of the lead, obviously made a massive difference. Nickel, cadmium, your anode and cathode. Obviously got an electrolyte paste in them still, just like these do. Lithium ion, same thing. So, where to next, is my question. If you can get 33 watt hours out of that tiny skinny little pouch battery, don't get me wrong, they can be dangerous, and if you puncture them, you can have issues and all that kind of stuff, but protected in a proper form factor, in a case, in a phone, in a device, whatever, happy days. Yeah. Well, we're on the subject of drill etc. batteries. I've got here it'll be rigid in America, AEG in Australia. It's a Pro Lithium ion 3 amp hour. So you're going to have these, you're going to have that one there's a 3 amp hour Milwaukee, 3 amp hour AEG. That's just in the normal cases. So they're both 54 watt hours, these two. Here's an 18 volt NiCad Hitachi, an old one. Got heaps of different batteries here. So it's 36 watt hours, amps by voltage, gives you watts. 36 watt hours for that big clunker. In comparison to the sealed lead acid, it's considerably lighter. Similar size if you flattened it out to make it look like the sealed lead acid. That's got 33 watt hours in it. The only reason these two are stacked flat is so they get fit inside a tablet. If you folded these on top of each other, they're only going to be double the thickness and still only in that little square. So my thought with that is, one of my laptop / computer tech guys that I buy my batteries off, normally laptop batteries to recover 18650s, has a it does a lot of mobile phone and tablet work and replacing screens and all that hoo-ha, and people just drop off broken screened tablets and laptops and bits and pieces. I'm going to see if I can get a bunch more of these tablet batteries. Obviously they're a flogged battery, they work really hard in a general sense, just because of the fact that they get hot, they discharge fairly fast and they charge fairly fast. I know my Samsung phone, its battery life's getting just dismal. I want to get a hold of some of these to either make USB chargers or external batteries for cameras. I just got a new camera actually. I'll explain about that on another time, but it has a 120 gig hard drive in the camera, so we can just keep on recording. It'd be nice to have something skinny and small like this, put it in a aluminium case to protect it so it can be taken travel around with it, put the two in series. We got 7.4 volts, we can run the 7.4 volts DC into my camera here. Happy days, the way it goes. Another battery for comparison, it's a 1.7 volt, 1.7 amp 18 volt Ryobi +1 battery. So you're going to be around the 30 odd watt hours there off the top of the head. I'm not doing maths at this time of night. So just a bit of a cool visualization and rough watt hour work out of these, and to give you a cool indication of the amount of power you can get out of something. So that little power wall with a GoPro sitting on top of it, that's about 55 amp hour. I'm going to actually discharge it again and test it. But that's about 55 amp hour at 12 volts. These two big sealed lead acids here are 100 amp hour each at 12 volts. So because I've used 1500 milliamp hour cells, there's not a huge space difference. It's still smaller, and like all of them would easily fit inside one of them. Probably twice as many would fit inside of them, and you could easily make your 100 amp hour, even more, maybe 120. But that battery weighs a good 40 kilos. That weighs like, I think I put it on the scales at 7 or 8, including copper, including solder, including black plastic cases. I can tip that over and nothing will happen. Tip that over, litres and litres of acid fall out. Think about it like that, you've got to make the choice. I've got a heap of these cell frames coming, and we're going to make a new e-bike battery, 48 volt system, maybe 55, fully charged like it was last time, 13 in series. And I think lead acid just, when they die, they just need to go, and don't replace them. I looked up a replacement cost on these in the local Super Cheap Auto, $399 each. That's $800 worth of semi-sealed lead acids there. Well, AGM batteries is probably a better term for them, absorb glass matte batteries. They're only 1.2 kilowatt in theory. If you go 100 amps by 12 volts, you're probably realistically not going to get that out of them, and we should test that and see how many amp hours I can actually get out of one before it stops with my little 18650 discharges I built. That puts out 500. I can get half a kilowatt hour out of that, and I can also draw off 15 or 20 times the C rating. So C rating is 1.5 amps per cell times 20. So that's a hell of a draw off per cell. So if you've got 55 amp hours, times it by 20, that's what you can draw off that pack, theoretically. Lead acids sag massively. They don't sag anywhere near as bad. Pros and cons. I picked those up from the scrapyard for near nothing. I'd salvage them out of power tool packs exactly like this. But I hope this helps someone with just a bit of an overview of different types of batteries. Obviously I'm not going deep into the chemical components of what's in one. I'm not cutting them apart and showing you what's inside. I'm simply showing that that's got 33 watt hours. Look at how small it is. That's only got 34. Look at how big and heavy it is. Life cycles between lithium ion polymer pouches and sealed lead acids, I'd like to argue, would probably be similar. 18650s are drastically in front. NiCad's had the memory effect. Look that up. Someone will explain that way better than I can. Basically, the way you charge them and discharge them affected their overall capacity very rapidly. But we'll have a play with these li-poly cells. We might even put these two together in parallel and put them on that little drone after I fix it. We'll fix that little quadricopter up and see if we can run it on those. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully it's been a little bit insightful for you. Some of the really good 18650s now are getting up to 3400, 3500 milliamp hours. I think they're Panasonics. So if you got 9.6 there, you can add a whole another 33% to that. So 12 watt per cell is certainly what's happening now, and things like Teslas would be capitalising on that kind of capacity. hope it helps, and thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Catch us in the next video.